I need to tell you about something that happened to me 3 weeks ago. I still don't have all the answers. Honestly, I'm not sure I ever will. But if you've ever had that feeling that something is off, like the world glitched for just a second, then maybe you'll understand what I'm talking about. It started on a Tuesday, an absolutely unremarkable Tuesday in March. I work as a data analyst for a mid-sized insurance company. The kind of job where you show up, sit at a desk, answer emails, attend meetings that could have been emails, and then go home. My commute is 23 minutes, door to door, same route, every day. That Tuesday morning, I stopped at my usual coffee shop, Brewhaven, Fletcher Street. The barista, Maya, knows my order. Medium Americano, no room for cream. She had it ready before I even reached the counter. Rough morning? She slid the cup toward me. Not really, I said. Why? She shrugged. You just look tired. I didn't think much of it. I'd slept fine, but maybe I did look tired. I paid, left, and walked the 4 blocks to my office. Here's where things get weird. When I got to work, my colleague Derek was standing by the elevator, staring at his phone. He looked up at me. Rough morning? Same words. Same inflection. I laughed it off. That's the second time someone's asked me that. Well, he said, you look tired. Again, the exact same phrasing. I know people say the same things sometimes. That's not unusual, but something about the way Derek said it made my skin prickle. The same casual tone, the same slight tilt of the head. The morning passed normally. Emails, spreadsheets, a conference call about quarterly projections. Around 11:30, I went to the break room for water, and that's when I saw it. The coffee shop receipt was still in my pocket. I pulled it out to throw it away and noticed the timestamp, 8:47 a.m. But that couldn't be right. I'd left my apartment at 8:40. The coffee shop is a 12-minute walk from my place. There's no possible way I could have been there at 8:47. I checked my phone. I had taken a photo of a weird-looking pigeon on my walk to work, time-stamped 8:51 a.m. 4 minutes after I'd supposedly bought coffee. I stared at that receipt for a long time. I tried to focus on work, but I couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. During lunch, I walked back to Brewhaven. Maya was behind the counter, wiping down the espresso machine. Hey, I said. Weird question, but do you remember me coming in this morning? She looked at me like I'd grown a second head. Of course. Medium Americano. What time was that? She frowned. I don't know, like 8:45? Why? The receipt says 8:47. Okay? I took a photo 4 minutes later that shows me 6 blocks away from here. Maya's expression shifted. Confusion. Then something else. Concern? Maybe? Or was it recognition? Are you feeling all right? She asked quietly. There it was again. That same tone, the same careful concern that Derek had, that Maya had used that morning when she said I looked tired. I'm fine, I said, backing toward the door. Never mind. I spent the rest of the afternoon going through my phone. Photos, location data, anything that could tell me where I'd actually been that morning. And here's what I found. My fitness app showed I'd walked 1.2 miles before arriving at work. The route from my apartment to the office is 0.9 miles. My location history had a gap between 8:35 and 9:03 a.m. I had a voicemail from my mum, left at 8:52 a.m. I don't remember my phone ringing. I called her back. Hey, sweetie, she said. Did you get my message this morning? I'm actually calling about that. What did you need? Oh, nothing important. I just wanted to check in. You sounded a little strange when I called. Strange how? I don't know. Distant? Like you were distracted. You said you were walking to work. My blood went cold. Mum? I didn't answer. It went to voicemail. There was a long pause. No, she said slowly. We talked for maybe 30 seconds. You told me you couldn't talk because you were almost at the coffee shop. I left work early. I told my boss I wasn't feeling well, which was true, in a way. I felt like I was losing my mind. I walked home along my usual route, paying attention to every detail. The cracked sidewalk on Monroe Street, the blue house with the wind chimes, the bodega where the owner's cat always sits in the window. And then I saw him. There was a man sitting on a bench at the corner of Fletcher and State, mid-40s, grey jacket, reading a newspaper, an actual newspaper, the kind nobody reads anymore. As I passed, he looked up. Rough morning. I stopped walking. What did you just say? He smiled. Not warmly. You heard me. Do I know you? Not yet, he said, but you will. See you tomorrow. Same time. He went back to reading his newspaper. I stood there, frozen, trying to decide if I should confront him or run. I ran. That night, I barely slept. I kept thinking about the missing time, the repeated phrases, the man on the bench. The next morning, Wednesday, I changed my routine. I left 15 minutes early. I took a different route. I skipped the coffee shop entirely. But when I got to the corner of Fletcher and State, he was there. Same bench, same newspaper, same grey jacket. He looked up as I approached. You're early today, he said. I wanted to scream. Instead, I asked, what do you want? It's not about what I want, he said. It's about what you need to remember. Remember what? He folded his newspaper and stood up. For the first time, I really looked at his eyes. They were wrong somehow. Not the colour, not the shape, something else. Something I can't quite put into words. Tuesday, he said. You need to remember what happened on Tuesday. I'm trying to, I said. That's the problem. I don't remember. Then you're not trying hard enough. He walked away. I tried to follow him, but he turned a corner, and when I got there, he was gone. Just gone. I've spent the last 3 weeks trying to figure this out. I've gone back through everything. Security camera footage from nearby businesses, my bank statements, even my search history. And here's what I know. On that Tuesday morning, between 8:35 and 9:03, I lost 28 minutes. My phone shows I travelled further than my normal route. Multiple people heard me say things I don't remember saying. And somehow, I bought coffee at a time when I couldn't have been there. I've seen the man on the bench 4 more times. He never says anything new, just variations of the same message. Remember Tuesday. The strange thing is, my Tuesday memories feel perfectly clear. I remember waking up, getting dressed, leaving my apartment. But there's this feeling, like watching a movie where a few frames have been cut out. You don't notice it at first, but once you know it's there, you can't unsee it. I think something happened during those missing 28 minutes. Something I witnessed, or did, or something that was done to me, and I think whoever that man is, he wants me to remember. Or maybe he wants to make sure I never do. I still take the same route to work. I still go to Brewhaven. Maya still has my coffee ready. But now I watch the time. I check my location. I record my conversations. And every time I pass that bench on Fletcher Estate, I look for him. He hasn't been there in 6 days. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad one. If you've ever lost time like this, if you've ever felt like something happened that you can't quite remember, I want you to think about something. What if you weren't supposed to remember? What if the forgetting was the point? I still don't know what happened that Tuesday morning, but I'm starting to think maybe the answer isn't something I lost. Maybe it's something I never had in the first place.